page?
Yes.
Okay, so I got to go to your page and share first before we get started.
Create
You know
live.
I'm not technical. I get when it's something technical, I get a whole lot of anxiety. I get nervous. I be like, oh my God. Okay, there it is. Awesome.
All right. Yeah,
No.
that's something that little skill I had to pull out the backpack right quick.
Boy,
I never tested it yet, but hey, we on it.
oh my gosh, the pressure. There we go. Okay, yay. Oh my God, thank God. So awesome. Okay, so hopefully everyone sees it on my page. We're going to go ahead and get started. If it happens to not be on my page, I will share it later. As you guys know, I am technically challenged. I get very upset when stuff happens. Y'all see me when my computer blinks out. So, forgive me because it's on me. I didn't do a sound check as the DJ let me know. But I am so excited today. It's Friday, and we are talking about the business of music. So as you guys know, I've been consulting for 18 years, and I have worked with different individuals who, hey, Marlo, so it's on my page. So that's awesome. Thank you, Marlo, for letting us know. So I have worked with different individuals concerning music. And one of the people I followed is DJ Siza Hanz, and I'm gonna tell you more about him. I also work with there's a music center in Memphis. The young lady teaches kids instruments in 3 to 4 schools in Memphis. It's awesome. And then also where the music comes from is I've worked with over 2,000 kids in the Chicagoland area, and they are from different walks of life. And so they used to tell me, Miss Cheers, you can't tell me nothing. And so I'll be like, okay, I'll be right back. So I will always go and get someone to help me, like guys, people from the street. But then I knew that I needed to be able to speak to them. So what I did was I used to learn rap songs like Hustle Hard. And I was explaining to them, like, his grandmama taught him them scriptures. His scriptures in his song. Because the one lyric that says, a closed mouth don't get fed, or if you don't work, you won't get paid. I said, that's a scripture. And so that's how I began to engage young people. But also they let me know that they had a love for music. They wanted to be a rap artist. They wanted to be a producer. They wanted to be different things. And I said, well, there's other things that can be done too in music, like the business side of it. Like I help individuals with contracts. I help them review contracts. I'm not a lawyer, but I do understand the language because I've worked in courts. Also, there's marketing. You could be a promoter and just have a business as a promoter. So there's so many things. So me and DJ Siza Hanz had a little conversation about the pros and cons of business. And then we were like, hey, we should do a show. So that's why we're here today. Let me tell you about him. He's a DJ, a producer, a troubleshooter at Brookville Recording, Inc., studied electronics and computer science at Tennessee College of Applied Technology. He is a photographer and videographer at Brookville Films. He is also featured on NoMoreDirty.org, 103.1 We Up, G93 Classic Hip Hop and R&B. He's live on G93 at 9 p.m. on Saturdays and co-host Sunday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time on G93. Did I get it right, DJ Siza?
Hey, we'll roll with that. It's a big story, but we can start there.
I know there's a whole lot more. I know him from my hometown. If you don't know, I am from Pulaski, Tennessee. Well, no, I take that back. I was born in Chicago and I grew up in Tennessee. And then I migrated to Alabama to go to Alabama A&M, and I've seen DJ Siza Hanz playing at Alabama A&M. I was so excited. I should find my hat, but I'm not going to do that.
Hey, I got some point. Well, Never mind. I had some on the wall, but I was gonna rep it for you. But it's all
Yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah. So
Shout out to Erica Fox, you know what I'm saying? WJB Marcus Sims, 90.9. That's on college radio. I'm affiliated with those fine, wonderful people over there. They call up a country boy to come and do voter initiatives and all type of
awesome.
community engagement. So, yeah, let me shout them out right quick. Thank y'all.
Wonderful. Anybody else?
Oh, it's a lie. Hey, I'm gonna have to roll with it. You know what I'm saying? I hate to leave people out. I do want to shout out while I got a chance, my brother E Fresh Beats, Emmanuel Garrett. You know what I'm saying? He fucking finger with that bass line. He'll jump in the track and get in the studio with me. And we used to really produce some tracks in the beginning of my expansion, I'm gonna say, because we been producing tracks together for P Town and Pulaski since
Awesome.
2004 or something like this. So yeah.
Wow. So over 15 years. So today we're going to get into the workshop topics. And so the first one, when we talk about music, we talk about the startup. And so I had pulled a song, and it was So Ambitious by 50 Cent. And so that's one of the things that I wanted to talk about, was being ambitious, because when you are starting a business, it's not for the weak. So it's like one of those things where you want to start, you might not know how to start, and you have some fear. But the one thing that I could tell you is to be ambitious, write your ideas down, all your thoughts, what you want to do, put it on paper, and then you start to test it out. Like I tell people, you have a pilot phase where you're testing it out, you do your flyers, you talk to people, share your ideas, and get some feedback and be okay. But remember this number one thing, at the end of the day, you make the decision. Because just because other people have great ideas about your business, you're gonna make the decision. And remember, being ambitious and being a decision maker is gonna help you every time. So DJ Siza Hanz is gonna give us a little feedback of what he thinks about the startup of a business, especially music.
Well, I'm not gonna act like I'm a consultant, but I can tell you about my experiences and transitions from it. And I want to say I was instilled some things from my family members at a child age. You know what I'm saying? I had maybe my first business was in Meadowbrook subdivision yard service. You know what I'm saying? Making good money, using my dad's lawnmower equipment at maybe 10, 11. You know, and with that, having been able to put money in my pockets, I was able to create some things with my extra time. So it was like, that was the ambition for me. Let's see how far we can go and how many people we can service, even though I didn't know I was actually doing something Christ-like, servicing people, you know.
Awesome, awesome. Money is the motivator. So one of the things that he shared was cutting grass. He made a little money. And so the connection is, my aunt lived in Meadowbrook. And so I spent a lot of time there with her. And so I know about the Brookville Boys and all those great things. So that's awesome.
Word.
So the next thing is my song. I say the topic is gain momentum. So we starting a business, we have to gain momentum to keep it going and to stay encouraged, because in the beginning, you might not see the fruits of your labor because you're just getting started. So hustle hard is one of those ones that I talk about with gaining momentum. The thing that I did when I started business was I had one brochure, and I made about 5 copies. And I didn't have a car, I didn't have a laptop, and so I was struggling. So I don't let nobody tell me, oh, I can't do it, this is too hard. Oh, I didn't have nothing. I know you're not talking to me. Let's go. To gain momentum now, 18 years later, probably when I started, I was working maybe 20 hours a week starting this business, and it did pretty good. I was bringing in a little money, and it was helping. It was a hustle. And then now today, I probably work 16 to 18 hours a day. I service over, in a month, I serve about 20 to 29 customers, which is a lot. Over in the last 2 years, I'm gonna tell you how I gained momentum. 2019, I had 27 customers. 2018, I had 27 customers. 2019, I had 54. Last year, 2020, I had 117 customers for the year. This is not talking about the number of products, but the actual number of customers that I served. And this year so far, I'm at 80. So I should serve 200 customers by the end of the year. So gaining momentum, I've doubled the number of customers every year. And that's because I put in that work. So we're gonna let DJ Siza Hanz tell us a little bit about from his view about gaining momentum. Like, how did he go from cutting lawns to on all these radio stations and working with people and parties and events, you name it. Community engagement is major. That is an awesome thing. So tell us a little bit about that.
Wow, that's interesting. You're making me discover some things I hadn't even talked about. But community engagement, that was self-improvement, how I ended up connecting with these wonderful people. It was like I just showed up with an open ear and open mind because I've been around so many scenes. It was time for a change and a more positive grown man ambition, because it was about raising my kids too, trying to figure out how to navigate parenthood and the problems I faced having the responsibility. No complaints, you know, but for black men out here, man, we got to fight, you know what I'm saying? So I use a lot of the energy I had in the streets and in the hood for positive things, and the community praised me and fed me the same back and forth, you know what I'm saying? So then like I use my skill set to serve and spec, you know what I'm saying?
Awesome. Thank you so much. And I can tell you, I noticed, and we're not going to get into this, but you had some issues where you went to court and you were victorious. Like you said a word, went to court, and it worked in your favor. And so we are excited about that too, because that's awesome. Thanks. So the next thing is, we talked about the startup and being ambitious, but the other piece is money, power, and respect. And so that's what we really want to talk about. And that's a whole mouthful, and we could do a whole show on money, power, and respect. But one of the things and how we began to talk about this particular show was we were talking about the lack of support when you start a business or have a business. You know, the people that you think are going to help you usually aren't the people, and it's okay. And one of the things that I discovered was sometimes they just don't have the capability or skill set. And, you know, we be thinking in our mind, like, oh, they could at least share the post and all of that. But sometimes, like, they're not wired to share the post. Kind of sharing posts is kind of like a promoter. So we have to focus on what can be done. And sometimes it's just a matter of asking them, can you share my post for me? This will really help me out a lot. So DJ Siza Hanz, I'd like to let you share a little bit on money, power, and respect, especially in the music industry, because we know this is huge. We're going to talk a little bit about contracts next, but we're going to talk about money, power, and respect, and how you can be prepared, how you can watch out, and how you can get that money, power, and respect.
Yeah. That's a major thing, because a lot of people want to give up, because, like you said, because you're not producing the fruits of your labor right off top. So at Pulaski, Tennessee, that whole dynamic there, being able to navigate and chase your dreams from from such a unmotivated, negative crab in the barrel. That's what we used to say. I don't even go that route no more, because my perspective is way different once you get into getting your jobs or whatever you have to do to invest in yourself, because nobody's going to do it for you. Nobody's going to be interested in your ideas and vision like you are. You know, and when you're a conglomerate or, you know, collabing with people and stuff, you got to understand that everybody wants their own thing out of it. So it's best to not face disappointments by having high expectations. Just put your work in and reap what you put in. And if it's not working for you, no need to wasting time and energy towards that. And so know your worth when it comes to the money, because everybody talking about chasing the bag. I'm not that type of materialistic person, because the spirituality has shown me growth and wisdom. That's what I enjoy. Why I love doing it, because it was a time I hated music young because I wasn't satisfied. But now I'm satisfied and happy because I see my purpose now. Or, for some years, And like I said, it stemmed from being a parent too.
Awesome. That is amazing. And I appreciate what you said about it's not just about chasing the bag, it's about purpose. And so one of the things as a consultant, what I do and the reason I started my business and what the things that I chose as services was because I didn't have a whole lot of help when I started out. And I was like, oh my gosh, I need help. Why these people won't help me? Right. And all of my service became about helping other people. And that's when it took off. And so the other part, or the post, I posted a post yesterday, and this will help someone. Never hope for it more than you work for it. Mm-hmm. It does take work. It does take work. We appreciate all the people who do help us, and we don't worry about who doesn't, because at the end of the day, the people that are helping have that skill set to help you, whether it's sharing posts, whether it's actually coming into your business and filing, or doing other things, or passing out your cards for you. Because I've had people to share my posts that I wasn't even expecting, and I so appreciate it. And then I've had people who was passing out cards. My mother passes out my pens, and she's telling me she need a whole nother shipment. And I'm like, those pens cost, sweetie. But everybody, and so it's cute. I let her do it. I'm ordering her some more to pass out. So it's really, really cool. So we're gonna go into the next topic of paid in full. And this is paperwork and contracts. And one thing I will share with you, when you are doing business, because I got to do the business side of it. When you're doing business, a lot of times people say, well, I'm not making no money, or I'm about to fail. And I tell them, you have not because you ask not. And that's the scripture. So when you're in business, you do have to get paid. You have to. No, we don't chase bags, but we do get paid for the services that we render, okay? So make sure you guys understand that. Make sure you know your prices, your product, what it costs you, and so you never lose money. The other thing, this is big with paperwork. Keep up with your paperwork, write contracts, and if you're receiving a contract as an artist, if you don't understand the contract, you leave that table and say, let me take this to my lawyer. And you might not have a lawyer, but you're going to take it to somebody who can help you break down the contract, read it, and understand it. Do not sign anything without an understanding. Okay? So we're going to let DJ Siza Hanz tell us more about that, because I know he definitely knows about contracts.
Yeah, because if you don't build a relationship or your network, you're dealing with strangers and things like that. So there's nothing wrong with being able to say what you expect up front, because if you have to negotiate, well, know your worth, know what you need, because always overhead in business. We're not doing this. We're not coming out of our pockets to service people like that. It has to make sense. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense at the same time.
Yes, that's it.
So it's all about like you said, you might not necessarily need a lawyer. You might find somebody who knows how to manage like business, and they can tell you the legal aspects of what you're doing, so you can apply that to your wisdom and knowledge and make a educated decision, so you can negotiate what you deserve or expect out of the deal, and expect the other hand and hold them accountable with their paperwork.
Very good. Awesome. That's excellent. I can't add anything to it. It's perfect. Making informed decisions. We already talked about this. We're gonna just we had the song "What About Your Friends" from TLC, and we were talking about support. So we've covered that. And so,
well, I want to speak real quick.
okay.
Because it's Pulaski. I want this. I'm gonna give the flowers to Pulaski because I'm still in Pulaski worldwide. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mhm.
and I don't never want to take for granted. I try to support everybody because it's certain people that have done so much in my career. You know what I'm saying? That they don't know the business side. It's like you had this great of a talent. I gotta showcase it. You know what I'm saying, to the world because this your family heritage. You may learn from your father, or learn something from your mother, and it was in your family. But our community is small. This is things that it's funny. I've listened to mainstream music and heard some of the ideas that we come up like a decade before it hit the radio. It's like we know people are here, have a focus or know where we're at, but we just don't have the financial backing or promotions and cities and
Mhm.
venues as same as competitive cities in the mainstream industry.
Awesome, awesome. So this is perfect. We didn't have this on our agenda, but networking is big and helping others promote, self-promoting as well as just creating that network and that community to help one another. And I
Hmm.
know personally, when I get someone who is from my hometown, Pulaski, Tennessee, I go out of my way to give them extra to help them because there is a challenge when it comes to funding a business. So that's an awesome thing that you do. I do the best that I can. I'm like, hey, if you guys call me, I'll be more than happy to help you.
Hmm.
So definitely. So the next thing that we talked about was challenges in business. And so I said ride the rodeo because every day you get up with business, no day is ever the same. And you have to be prepared for that. One of the things I heard in a real estate class was we wake up every day and we don't have a salary and we have to earn our salary. You start at zero every morning. And so that's not for the weak. And so you have to know this ahead of time because that's where that hustle hard comes into play because you have to earn you have to keep the lights on, you have to earn the money, you have to make your living. And so DJ Siza Hanz is going to tell us about Tennessee Valley music. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's funny. It's saying like that word to the kid. There was a play on there. It's like we recorded a song. Me and the crew, Dirt Underworld Entertainment is one of the labels independently we done out of Pulaski, Tennessee, in like 98, 99, 2000 era, in Pulaski. And that's when we were selling CDs out of the trunk. So that's what Tennessee Key Valley music is about. It's like the culture of the northern Alabama, southern Tennessee, middle Tennessee region. Because like I said, we don't have these avenues. That was why I was so persistent to be a DJ. Because I started out, I had these dreams as a child, but then I like realizing service and purpose, trying to fill in the gaps what needed to be done instead of everybody oversaturating doing the same thing. So that's why I transformed into so many roles. Like, as far as music, I was a rapper, then I needed beats because I didn't have a producer wanting to rap at a young age in middle school. So I started making my own beats. I was a guy in the cafeteria every morning and every lunchroom, beatboxing and beat on table for people to freestyle. So, and that was a service there, you know what I'm saying?
I love service.
So actually, even doing that, I didn't have nobody in return to do my beatboxing beat. So I actually acquired the ability to drum out my own beats and beatbox and rap at the same time, like
Oh, wow.
all that
Oh,
type of stuff. Because and it was about filling in the gap. And I never thought that it was just a dream because the dream. I'm gonna tell you, the dream was I wanted to be successful so I can help my family. So it's like that was something I never could get rid of. I also even joined the military and sold all my music equipment to get away from music at 18 years old when I graduated. Because I did so many shows and performed and produce music in high school. It's actually that skill set where I could go to a teacher and do graffiti on the wall because I'm hip hop. I'm a hip hop culture.
Right.
They might want some, that's the art teacher. Come do this, and I get an A or something, just for that one event. Or science or biology, I could make a rap out of the information. That's an A for the whole city, just think going, things like that. So
that's amazing. You have so many talents and you use them all in music, like the covers of the CDs, the murals on the wall. Awesome things. You also mentioned in your conversation about challenges in business was frustration and how you sold your music, your equipment, and was like, no more music. Well, that happened to me too. When I first started, I'm running around, I'm talking to people, I'm getting all these no's, no. I threw Cheers in a box and threw it under my bed and was like phooey on Cheers to Resolutions because that was my first business. I was like, forget that. I ain't doing this. This is too hard. No. And I quit. And then the phone started ringing harder.
All
when
right.
you have purpose and you try to quit, the phone rings so you won't quit. Because, when the phone rang, I was like, I was like, thank you for calling Cheers. I could have been like, I quit yesterday. I threw everything in a box and it's under my bed, but I didn't. And so we just want to speak to you and let you know that it's not easy, but keep going. No matter what, keep going. I'm like 18 years later. In the beginning, I used to quit a lot. And then once I really realized if I keep going, if I keep marketing, if I keep pushing, the business will come. And I did this business for 15 years with a 9 to 5. And so what I would tell you is I should have left the 9 to 5 sooner, but it's okay. So if someone is out there, we're not saying quit your job. We're just saying to make a plan while you're working. Right. So you put your funds together, put a few funds to the side, and then, buy everything that you need in this phase of the business, because as it grows, your needs change and you'll be able to buy other things, but work on the bare minimum that you need to start a business if you have no one funding you and you're not able to get a loan. Remember, I started with 5 brochures. And so I could tell you, someone asked me to help with the business, and I said, okay, I'll be back. It was at my church. I'll be back. So next week I came back with a brochure for her. And that's how it all got started. I got to shout out Roz Gully because she was the person who believed in me and pushed me and was telling people about me before I even understood what it was that I was going to be doing. So hopefully this helps someone. So don't be afraid, okay?
And that's the thing, too, about investing in yourself. See, when I was young, trying to dream and stuff, being in hip hop culture, I cared about cars and rims and systems and clothes and sneakers like that. But at the same time, I kept my job. I always worked and stuff like that. My best investor was my tax return.
Awesome.
It's like every year I could upgrade because that one thing I got to a certain level, people would see my equipment like, man, how much you pay for that? And I had to be like, this, you don't do it all at once. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You got to, feel your needs. And then when you learn things, you know what you need to purpose instead of just, I got a bunch of toys and really not being real productive with it because I'm buying brands and it look cool. But I actually, you do the knowledge.
Awesome. Yes, and we can do a whole class on how to put a system together. And so let me tell you something interesting. I have a client who does car audio shows. Mm-hmm. So they invited me out because I kept thinking the car show, it's the rims, the tires, everything. Well, car audio shows are not that. The cars might look a little raggedy, but they have these systems in place. They have a lot of what they call insulation to cut the vibrations down. They have a lot of know-how because I didn't know, like these car show cars, you can't really run them hard to the show because they'll be too hot to play the audio. And it was about the sound waves and not actually what the song sounded like. And so an example would be, I got in a truck, and they're friendly. They let you get in the car. And so the guy, he had some pretty flowing hair. The music, the vibrations, his hair was flowing like the fan was blowing, but it was the beats. It was the music. I was like, oh my gosh. And then when I got in, it felt like my heart was just fluttering. And, I heard some people say that they were in cars where it sounded like they felt like their heart was going to explode. I was like, well, get out of there. What are you doing? Don't stay in. I'm like, I'm keeping my heart. But there's so many avenues when it comes to music and when it comes to music and a music business. And so I've had a variety of people that I've worked with, that do different things around music. So like the DJ, the car audio shows, what else? Let me think. Vulture City, a movie producer, they use a lot of music. So they need a person who's specifically available to have music for each episode. So there's a lot that you can do. If you're like me and you don't know music and technology, then I do the paperwork behind the music business and things like that. So there's a lot that can be done, especially if you know a young person who really loves music, but they don't have a plan. Sometimes you can introduce them to things. And I can tell you, kids love music. Teens love music. Young adults, we all do.
Right.
So that's the one thing to remember. There are a lot of different avenues when a young person comes to you and says, well, I want to do something in music. Don't shut them down, because there's a lot of money to be made in music, and it doesn't have to be a person who is a rap star, or, they might sing, or they might sing in church. There are other ways that you can encourage a person, and there's a lot of jobs and careers in in music.
Mm-hmm.
The last thing we're gonna talk about, and this is one of my favorite songs, is All the Way Up, and DJ Siza Hanz has worldwide. But the one thing about it is, if you keep going, like every day I get up and I play a song to help motivate me, because I gotta stay up. And so one day, I was telling someone I had drank 2 cups of coffee, and I was like pumped. They were like, "Oh, you're really excited." I said, "I'm all the way up. I got to all the way up." So, and this speaks to both of those things. You got to stay all the way up to do business. No one is gonna want to talk to you if you're grumpy. And then the other part of that is the success. You want to be all the way up, so you have to do the things that will help get you there. And sometimes it takes long hours. So I'm going to pass the mic to DJ Siza Hanz and let him tell us about the music industry, the business, the careers, and the community.
All right. I like that. All the way up, worldwide for me. It's like, you said what makes me all the way up is my health,
Oh, that's good.
It's like now, my routine is, not being overwhelmed with tasks and stuff like that is real important with me, because you will get grumpy and frustrated and tired, drained, So exercise, like when I get like that, sometimes you sitting down so long in front of computers and technology, your body just, start cramping up and stuff. Right. So, but exercise, push-ups, running, walking, I am a diabetic, what I'm saying? I've been a diabetic at such a young age that, and have some running in family. That's, you also know what your ancestor and what your DNA and your whole genealogy looks like. I'm one of them people too. So I can understand, because a lot of communities do not talk about concerns or try to intervene and fix those things, because it's so normal to be, living in pride. Yeah. So, taking that in mind, because that also actually helps your business too, is, just drink water, stress relief and therapy, and self-care.
Right, and vitamins.
Yes, all that, because you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anybody else.
That's correct. And he summed it up so well. We got to stay all the way up when it comes to our health, because if, like he said, if you're not healthy, you can't help anyone else. you know, and with a small business, you're the person that's doing all of it most of the time. And so for me, that's one of those things. I take vitamins every day. I try to get in all my water, try to eat better. I'm not good at it, but I try to keep that in front of me, because if something happens, who's going to run the business for you? And so we have to make healthy choices at the end of the day. And we are so glad that you guys sat in with us. This was amazing. I'm like, man, we could take this into schools. That's how good this was for me. And it was a great conversation, and the two different perspectives are awesome. And so we thank you for being here, and we appreciate you. Make sure you share this video with other people so they can share it with teens and young adults and kids. And so we're going to let DJ Siza Hanz take us out. Thank you, Marlo, for attending. I see you. Thank you for being here. And so we're going to let DJ Siza Hanz take us out. Next time we might add a little music.
It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, I'm glad everybody was able to, you know, had the opportunity to hear us and present something for you all. Hopefully everybody can take something from it to benefit and better yourself, your ideas, even maybe spark something that was never in you before, and take advantage of what the universe has to offer for you, because, you know, he only wants you to be happy. So we can get it together, unite, take care of one another. What's the word about?
All right, that's it. You guys have a fantastic weekend. We made it to the weekend. Celebrate your success and what you did this week. Don't focus on what you didn't do. Focus on what you got done. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.